to the 56th
This
edition
meeting is being
of
recorded.
Englishing with James. And first off, let me say Happy Easter to the entire western part of the planet. What a special day. From my heart and my family to yours, Happy Easter. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, of course, we have to start with our coronavirus report. So let's get to it. If I can share, maybe. Okay, I can. All right. Okay, currently it looks like we have around 131 million total cases, almost 3 million deaths worldwide. That's such good news on Easter Sunday. 105 million recovered, almost 106 million at this point. This is good. Okay. Everybody back home in the United States, it looks like we have 31,383,126 total cases, almost 570,000 deaths so far. The good news, almost 24 million recovered. And I'm going to say only 6,919,981 active. That's actually pretty small for the U.S. Okay, let's see where we're at here, where I live. 614,365 total. 5,422 have died. And it looks like 510,932 recovered. 98,000 active. Okay, this is down from not too long ago. So it was around 300,000 active. So this looks okay. Better, I should say. All right, and let's check out Asia. India, of course, still on top with 12,485,509 total. 164,655 have perished. 11,629,289 recovered, and 691,565 active. Okay. Hi, Nancy. Welcome to the show. We're talking about the moon today. The moon. Exciting stuff. Okay. Let's move down to Hong Kong. 11,502 total. 205 have died. I know, a long time. Exactly, Nancy. We miss you here. We really do. You're always welcome every show. And I have a little surprise for you later. Just for you, Nancy. And 164 active in Hong Kong. Not so bad. And Taiwan, 1,047. 10 died. 997 recovered. Only 40 active cases. Very little. All right, this is good news. I see numbers going down. This is a good trend. Okay. Next, we have the vaccination report. Okay, let's share that. Okay, almost there, peeps. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, they don't have this now. They changed it. Oh, here we go. Found it. Okay. Israel has 116% or 116 out of every 100 people vaccinated. I don't know how that's possible, but okay. Chile, 56%, UK 53, US almost hitting 50, Bahrain 46, Serbia where I'm at 37, Hungary 32, Uruguay 22, Turkey's almost hitting 20%, Germany 17, Brazil 9. You know what here? UAE, the United Arab Emirates, 86.5. And a lot of these big numbers here are just very small countries. So it's fairly easy to vaccinate 20,000 people. Okay, this is good news. All right, we're going to get out of there. No more depressing news. Okay, it's time for the 56th edition horoscope. Who's ready for some astrology? I know I am. And by the way, people, I want opinions. You can leave some comments. What works better for you for Easter? The bunny on IG or the cracked egg and bunny ears on the show? I think they're both awesome, by the way. Okay. Let's share some astrology. Time for our weekly overview. Okay, we're starting with Aries as we normally do. All right, Aries, the mountain summit is in sight. This week, hard work gets you to the top. On Tuesday, April 6th, I'll only say this once, Venus in your own sign of Aries makes a sextile to Mars in Gemini in your house of communication. A spark of a relationship could grow into a lovely fire with your help today. It starts with your ability to give and receive equally. If a compliment comes your way, don't brush it aside. Enjoy what you receive, and what you give will be welcomed. Okay, toward the end of the week on Friday, April 9th, Mars in your house of thinking process and computation makes a square to a logical Neptune in Pisces. Today, numbers seem to make no sense. They float around on the page, not adding up correctly and certainly never balancing. This is a day for doing art, taking a swim in some chilly water, or watching a movie mashup of adventure and romance. Swim in some chilly water. Okay. On to Taurus. Okay, this week, tenacity is key, Taurus. Being patient is what wins you rewards. Okay, in your house of magical abilities, actually Venus in Aries in your house of magical abilities makes a sextile to Mars in Gemini in your house of money. Bibbidi boo, okay? It's time to work your power of manifestation. Taurus, you have a natural ability to attract material objects. Today's a good day to exercise that ability. You might do a vision board or some feng shui, I never say that right, by placing representations of what you want on your entryway table. Consider lighting a metallic gold candle to attract prosperity energy. Okay, that same Mars makes a square to Neptune in Pisces in your house of alliances. Worlds open up to you when you have a big circle of supporters. Today, you can get a little closer to the goal of 1,000 true fans, but it's also just as easy with this aspect to allow fear to take over. Avoid absorbing other people's negativity by staying true to your own aspirations and beliefs. Yeah. All right. Gemini next. Okay. Gemini, the best advice is to read the instructions before proceeding. Who does that? This week, it will save you time and effort. Okay, Venus in Aries in your house of social relationships makes a sextile. Why do I keep wanting to say textile? Sextile to Mars in your own sign of Gemini. You have a fun-loving nature, and today it is expanded exponentially. You have an opportunity to attend a celebration, and it's likely your brilliant smile will attract some notice. A friendship or more can begin. That same Mars in your house of physical coordination makes a square to Neptune in Pisces at the top of your chart. Today, you have two modes, not usual for Gemini. You are perfectly in flow or a complete klutz. This means if you're on top of a horse, you either look amazing or you're ready to fall off. If you're driving, you are skillfully maneuvering into a tight parallel parking spot, or you bump into a shopping cart in an empty parking lot. Be careful of distractions today. All right, on to Cancer. Maybe. Okay, here we go. No, that's Gemini. Cancer. Okay, here we go. Cancer, this week you may be offered something you didn't know you needed. Venus in Aries in your house of notoriety makes a sextile to Mars in Gemini in your house of art and design. Today, you may want to show off your style. You could be decorating the house or decking yourself out in a cool bomber jacket or a pair of Air Jordans 13 Retro Flint. You could be doing your own art, but with this aspect, the temptation to purchase will be very strong. Okay, that same Mars makes a square to Neptune in Pisces in your house of higher learning and abstract thinking. Cancer, today is the perfect day to look at your life from a more philosophical approach. Consider putting the 6 human needs in your own personal order: certainty, significance, variety, love connection, growth, and contribution are all important. But today, it's good to prioritize them. This could be a guiding light for many decisions you make in the future. Okay, 1 second, guys. I have to stop sharing just for a minute here. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Leo, number 1, is next. Woo. Love the Leo. Okay, Leo, this week, giving something up for someone else brings you much more than you expect. Okay, Venus in Aries in your house of spirituality and enlightenment makes a sextile to Mars in Gemini and your house of friendships. Today, you can get involved in a blissful connection. This could be a friendship that turns into a love relationship that is deep and meaningful, or you can make a heart connection with someone who shares your beliefs and ideals. This is a sextile, so you must initiate the meeting or start the conversation. Hi, Celia. Thanks. So, do you prefer the cracked egg over the standard bunny? This is the question. Okay. Toward the end of the week, I did it. I read it. Why do I do this? Mars in Gemini in your house of technology makes a square to Neptune in Pisces in your house of banking and finance. Use caution today, as you can get talked into something quite expensive that you do not need. This could be related to your sound system, a phone upgrade, or the promise of faster internet. The fuzziness of Neptune can hide the true cost. It can also be difficult to set up with this aspect. What a letdown. Okay. On to Virgo. All right, Virgo, a physical issue could disappear. This week, you get the help that you need. Sounds positive. Venus in Aries in your house of finance and investments makes a sextile to Mars in your house of career. You might find reviewing your retirement plan exciting today. However, with this aspect, you may be tempted to take money earmarked for the future and splurge on something you feel would add to your life right now. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of relationships. If you did act impulsively earlier in the week now, you might be feeling doubt, or more accurately, your significant other is suggesting you have chosen the wrong course. Virgo, this is a time to evaluate what you're doing and whether you are operating on your own terms or just following what the crowd says. Oh, that's no good. Always be different than the crowd. Okay, on to Libra. Okay, this week, taking on too much responsibility will just drain your energy. Libra, pace yourself. On Tuesday, April 6th, Venus on your planetary ruler. Oh, what just happened? Now travels through Aries and your house of relationships. Today, it makes a sextile to action-oriented Mars in your house of contracts and legal agreements. These two planets coming together in these life areas can equal a marriage proposal or wedding plans. You can sit down with your sweetheart and discuss how to merge finances, buy a house together, or add children to your lives. Exciting. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of routines. Neptune tends to dissolve plans and structures. This combination can make you feel uncertain about the direction you're heading or if things are going to work for you. But Neptune can also give you the vision around which Mars can take action. So look at this aspect as being guided toward beneficial steps, and your angels will lend a helping hand. That's so nice. All right, on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, you may be looking to free yourself from other people's constant demands. This week, you just have to say no. Okay, Venus in Aries in your house of everyday things, excuse me, like tea, manicures, or puppies, makes a sextile to Mars in your house of resources. This is easy energy that brings good social contacts and an optimistic outlook in life. People around you are willing to offer things of value. Today, it's good to be social while you go about your day. You might be sharing a meal together or sending a message through video conference. Toward the end of the week, on Friday, April 9th, I read it all again. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of romance. Now the energies are stirred up and turned passionate. You might feel that tingling sensation as all your thoughts are on intimacy and stuff you want to do behind closed doors. This is a good day to take your lover by the hand and shut out the world for a few hours. Ooh. Okay. Next, we have Sagittarius. I like my bunny ears. This week, contingency plans you have come in handy. Sagittarius, you are prepared. Okay, Venus in Aries in your house of fun and enjoyments makes a sextile to Mars in your house of relationships. This is one of those rare aspects where the stars are aligning in favor of love. It's just a love theme this week, huh? This is a good day to post your profile on an online dating site or reach out to people you find attractive and start a conversation. If you're already in a love relationship, set aside some time to spend together tonight. Okay. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of dwellings. Now there's some things to do around the house, but either you don't feel like it or they are beyond your expertise. If there are plumbing issues, this could be a sign of some overflowing emotions at home. The best use of this aspect is to bring spirituality home by creating an altar or doing folk magic like sweeping the porch with intention. Interesting. Okay, on to Capricorn. Capricorn, you're an expert at operating within a restricted framework. This week, others are impressed. Okay, Venus in Aries in your house of dwellings. I have no voice. If that was loud, I apologize. In your house of dwellings makes a sextile to Mars in Gemini in your house of improvements. Today, you might be quite willing to spend some money to make the house more comfortable, more beautiful, or both. This is a good day for redecorating or finding cute organizing solutions. Invite your sweetheart over to your house for the first time and talk about your future together. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of paperwork and numbers. That has to be the most boring house. Neptune can create confusion. This don't seem to add up. Numbers swirl around the page and make no sense. This is not a good day to do your taxes. This is a great day for creating a vision board with pictures that represent what you want in your life. Light a candle and focus your energy on manifesting. Okay, on to Aquarius. This week, you get the gratification of seeing progress on a treasured goal. Aquarius, your effort is paying off. Venus in your house of thinking and communication makes a sextile to Mars in your house of romance. Today, during a conversation with someone, you could realize you are head over heels in love. This might be someone you've known for some time or someone you've just met. The feeling is real and strong. This is a good time to express those emotions to see if the feeling is mutual. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of values. Today, you may not be feeling so sure of yourself. This is killing me today. Coffee time. I'll get it, I promise. This is what happens when you talk too much. Okay, today during a conversation with someone, nope, I already read that. The same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your house of values. Today, you may not be feeling so sure of yourself as Neptune can drain the confidence out of Mars. But this is an excellent day for having a bigger vision. If you want to feel more assured, then think of something you can do to help the world as bigger ideas pull you out of limited thinking and fear. Okay, and last but not least, Pisces. All right, Pisces, this week, it's good to enjoy the process as you may have to do something over and over. Boring. Venus in Aries in your house of cash money makes a sextile to Mars in your house of dwellings. Today, you may be house hunting for real or giving yourself something to put on your vision board. Consider ways of manifesting. Hi, Chan. Welcome to the show, bud. Consider ways of manifesting what it is that you want. Today, we're talking about the moon, Chan. This is a good day to focus on creative ideas to get the house of your dreams, whether that is a farmhouse in the country, a penthouse in the city, or you want to live in a scamp out in the wilderness. That same Mars makes a square to Neptune in your own sign of Pisces. This is a visionary aspect for Pisces. While most people experience this aspect by jumping at shadows, you see possibilities. This is a good day to talk to your ancestors and let them inspire you with inspiration. Take hold of some old photographs of your grandma's necklace and see what the past generations have to say. Awesome. And that's going to conclude this week's astrology horoscope readings. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, it's time for my favorite part. Vocabulary. Although I'm not ready. Oh, Brandon. Give me 10 seconds. That's all I need. Maybe. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Technical difficulties. One moment, please. I lied. It's going to be more than 10 seconds. Why did I not do this at the beginning? Okay. Okay, here we go. 56th edition vocabulary. Here we go. Word number 1, orbit. Orbit. Say it with me, everybody. Orbit. Very, very good. Okay, orbit is a path described by one body in its revolution about another. Okay, a circular path, a range or sphere of activity. Orbit. Okay. Man, I'm slow today. Number 2 word of the week, planet. Planet. Say it with me, everybody. Planet. Okay. Planet is any of the large bodies that revolve around the sun in the solar system. A similar body associated with another star. Any of the 7 celestial bodies, Sun, Moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, and Saturn, that in ancient belief have motions of their own among the fixed stars. A celestial body. Okay. Very good, very good. On to number 3, solar system, peeps. Solar system. That's right. Double word. Say it with me. Solar system. Very, very good. Okay. Solar system is the sun together with the group of celestial bodies that are held by its attraction and revolve around it. Pretty simple. Solar system. Very, very good. Okay. Number 4 is planetoid. Planetoid. Say it with me, everyone. Planetoid. Okay. Planetoid is a small body resembling a planet. Could be an asteroid, could be the moon. The moon is a planetoid. Planetoid. Okay. Coming in at number 5, we have satellite. Satellite. This one's not easy. Say it with me. Satellite. You did it. Good job. Okay. Satellite is a celestial body orbiting another of larger size, a manufactured object or vehicle intended to orbit the Earth, the moon, or another celestial body. Satellite. Okay, moving on to number 6, moon rock. Moon rock. Say it with me, everybody. Moon rock. Okay, there's really no definition for this in the dictionary. Moon rock is exactly what it says, a rock that comes from the moon. This is actually extraterrestrial in a sense. A rock from the moon, because the moon is one giant rock, basically. Okay. Next we have lunar prospector. Lunar prospector. Say it with me, everybody. Lunar prospector. Okay, once again, we're completely out of the dictionary here. But okay, this is a spacecraft. This is a mission. What's the easiest way to explain this? I mean, Lunar Prospectors was the 3rd mission selected by NASA for full development and construction as part of the Discovery program. The 19-month mission was designed for a low polar orbit investigation of the moon, including mapping, measurement of magnetic and gravity fields, and study of lunar outgassing events. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Okay. Next, number 8 is gravity. Gravity. Say it with me, everybody. Gravity. Perfect. Okay. Gravity is, let's see here, a fundamental physical force that is responsible for interactions which occur because of mass between particles, between aggregations of matter, and between particles and aggregations of matter. That is 10 times the strength of the strong force, and that extends over infinite distances, but is dominant over macroscopic distances, especially between aggregations of matter. Okay, there's your science for the day, people. And that is gravity. All right, number 9, spacecraft. Spacecraft. Say it with me, peeps. Spacecraft. Very good. Okay, a spacecraft is a vehicle or device designed for travel or operation outside the Earth's atmosphere. So basically, a vehicle for space. Not quite an automobile. More like a rocket. Spacecraft. Okay. Next, we have full moon. Full moon. Say it with me, everybody. Full moon. Very good. Okay, the full moon is just essentially the moon with its whole apparent disk illuminated. This is the phase where the moon is 100% lit in our sky. Full moon. All right, and we're going to go right to the opposite next. Eclipse. Eclipse. Say it loud, say it proud. Eclipse. Very good. Okay, eclipse is the total or partial obscuring of one celestial body by another. So essentially when the moon is in the way of the sun and it overlaps it, that's an eclipse. This blocks the sun from the earth 100%. And it's usually really fun to watch. But don't look straight at it because you will go blind. All right, next. Ocean tides. Ocean tides. Say it with me, everybody. Ocean tides. Okay, tides. Okay, this is the alternate rising and falling of the surface of the ocean and of water bodies, connected with the ocean that occurs usually twice a day and is the result of differing gravitational forces exerted at different parts of the earth by another body, such as the moon or sun. A less marked rising and falling of an inland body of water. That's an easier way to say it. All right, and that's going to bring us to our last word for this week's edition, crater. Crater. Say it with me, everybody. Crater. Okay, very good. Very, very good. And wow, I think we had this word not too long ago, didn't we? A depression formed by an impact, as of a meteorite. This is exactly what we see when we look at the moon, all of those circles and holes. These are craters. Lots of different asteroids and meteorites have crashed into our closest friend in this galaxy, the Earth. It's taken a lot of punishment over the years. Okay, guys, I believe that is going to do it for this week's vocabulary. Very fun, very cool. God, I should have threw some Easter ones in there too. Oh well, whatever, no big deal. Okay, so it's finally time to start talking about the moon. We've talked about everything else but the moon so far. Yeah, what can I say? If it wasn't for the moon, we wouldn't have light at night. This controls the tides of our ocean. The moon is actually very crucial to our life here on Earth. So, but hold on, before we get to the moon, one more non-moon related subject. Okay, if you're looking to improve your English, look no further than James Learning. We are here and we are determined to make you a native speaker. Through conversation, we help you improve your vocabulary, your grammar and sentence structure, and your pronunciation. We have people waiting right now. Teachers are ready to take new students. So look no further and do not hesitate if you're serious about improving your English. I'm back. Internet decided to leave me for about 3 or 4 minutes. I apologize for that. Okay. Let me get everything back to normal. I'm going to need that link again because I have nothing now. It feels like this egg's actually around my neck right now. Strange. Okay. We're going to do a little talking here about the moon. Maybe. Boy, that just totally screwed everything up. Okay. Almost back to normal, I promise, everybody. All right. Speaking of the moon, why do we have special names for full moons? Let's find out more about the ancient names associated with the moon and what they mean. Okay, we have blue moons, we have harvest moons, we have worm moons. Find out more about the ancient names associated with the phases of the moon and what they mean. What are the phases of the moon? When we look up at the moon, we don't always see the same amount of its surface being lit up. This apparent change in the shape of the moon is known as its phase. What causes the phases of the moon? Okay, the phases of the moon are caused by the relative positions of the moon, sun, and earth. Because the moon produces no visible light of its own, we can only see the part of the moon that is lit up by other objects. A small amount of light comes from the distant stars and the reflection of light from the earth, known as earthshine. However, the main source of light for the moon is the sun. Stupid throat. At almost all times, half of the moon is being lit up by the sun. But this need not be the half that is facing towards the earth. The only exception is during a lunar eclipse. If the moon is between the earth and the sun, its orbit, then the backside of the moon is being lit up and the side facing the earth is in darkness. This is called a new moon. If the moon is on the other side of the earth compared to the sun, then the near side of the moon will be fully lit up. This is a full moon. Okay, in between these, the moon goes through multiple stages of partial illumination during its different phases. These are the banana-shaped crescent moon, the D-shaped quarter moon, and the almost complete gibbous moon. Finally, each phase is also named after its position in the full 29.5 day cycle based on whether it is growing. Each phase is also named, this is also known as waxing or waning. Okay, the 8 phases of the moon in order are new moon, waxing crescent moon, first quarter moon, waxing gibbous moon, full moon, waning gibbous moon, last quarter moon, or waning crescent moon. 8 phases. The full, quarter, and new moons are all the instants in time when the moon is exactly fully, half, or not at all illuminated from our perspective on Earth. The crescent and gibbous moons each last approximately a week. Okay, so how are the phases of the moon and the months linked? You ask. The moon's phases and the months of the year are inextricably linked. It takes the moon about 29.5 days to go through all of its phases, meaning that each month has an average 1 full moon, which occurs when the entire face of the moon is illuminated by the sun. This figure is not the same as the time it takes the moon to orbit Earth. That's 27.3 days. How many full moons are there in a month, you ask? Well, because our modern calendar isn't quite in line with the moon's phases, sometimes we get more than one full moon in a month. This is sometimes known as a blue moon. How many full moons are there in a year? There are 12 full moon names corresponding to the full moon in each month, but sometimes there are more than 12 full moons in one year. Okay. The full moon's name and meanings. Over time, different cultures have given names to full moons across the lunar calendar. Many of the moon's nicknames have come to us from Native American culture because for their way of life, the cycles of the lunar phases were just as important a method of timekeeping as the longer solar cycle of the year, from which the modern Gregorian calendar is derived. The number of moon names differs slightly from tribe to tribe, but many assign either 12 or 13 full moons to the year. These names were then adopted by the colonial Americans and have entered pop culture. Below, you can see a few alternatives alongside the most popular names for each month's full moon, Okay, so every month's full moon, we have names. Here we go. January, wolf moon. January's full moon is named after the howling of hungry wolves, lamenting the scarcity of food in midwinter. Other names for this month's full moon include old moon and ice moon. February, snow moon. February is typically cold, snowy weather in North America earned its full moon the name snow moon. Storm moon and hunger moon are other common names. It's pretty cool. Okay. Continue. We have March. March is worm moon. Native Americans called this last full moon of winter the worm moon, after the worm trails that would appear in the newly thawed ground. Other names include chaste moon, death moon, crust moon, and sap moon, after the tapping of the maple trees. Okay. April, pink moon. Pink like the Easter bunny. Huh. Northern Native Americans call April's full moon the pink moon, after a species of early blooming wildflower. In other cultures, the moon is called the sprouting grass moon, the egg moon, and the fish moon. All right, May, flower moon. Of course, May flowers. This makes sense. Many cultures refer to May's full moon as the flower moon, thanks to the abundant blooming that occurs as spring gets going properly. Other names include the hare moon, that's rabbit, the corn planting moon, and the milk moon. Okay, June, the strawberry moon. Yummy. In North America, the harvesting of strawberries in June gives that month's full moon its name. Europeans have dubbed it the rose moon, while other cultures named it the hot moon for the beginning of summer heat. Okay, July, the buck moon. Male deer, which shed their antlers every year, begin to regrow them in July, hence the Native American name for July's full moon. Some refer to this moon as the thunder moon, due to the summer storms in this month. Other names include the hay moon and the July hay harvest. All right, August, the sturgeon moon. Interesting. North American fishing tribes called August's full moon the sturgeon moon, since the species appeared in number during this month. Okay, that makes sense. It's also been called the green corn moon, the grain moon, and the red moon for the reddish hue it often makes from the summer haze. Okay. September, corn moon. Harvest moon. This is what I know it as. September's full corn moon is so called because this is when crops are gathered at the end of the summer season. At this time, the moon appears particularly bright and rises early, letting farmers continue harvesting into the night. This moon is also sometimes named the barley moon, and is often the nearest full moon to the autumnal equinox, earning the title of harvest moon, just as I thought. Okay, October, hunter's moon. This is when people hunt. This makes sense. After the harvest moon comes the hunter's moon, in the preferred month to hunt summer fattened deer and fox, unable to hide in bare fields. Like the harvest moon, the hunter's moon is also particularly bright and long in the sky, giving hunters the opportunity to stalk prey at night. Other names include the travel moon and the dying grass moon. All right, November. There is disagreement over the origin of November's beaver moon. Some say it comes from Native Americans setting beaver traps during this month, while others say the name comes from the heavy activity of beavers building their winter dams. Another name is the frost moon. And December is the cold moon. It makes sense. The coming of winter earned December's full moon the name cold moon. Other names include the long night moon and the oak moon. All right. What is a blue moon, you ask? Well, this moon completes 12 full cycles of its phases in about 354 days, which is 11 days short of a calendar year. 2.5 years or so, the difference adds up to an extra 13th full moon occurring during this year. And this relatively rare occurrence is sometimes referred to as a blue moon. You'll hear people say, oh, that only happens once in a blue moon, long period of time. However, the precise origins of the term are uncertain. It was originally the name given to the third full moon of a season, containing 4 full moons. And today, blue moon is also sometimes applied to a second full moon occurring within a single calendar month. Find out more. No, that's not for me to read. Okay, what is the harvest moon? The harvest moon is one of the most familiar moon names and refers to the nearest full moon to the autumnal equinox. The light of the harvest moon enables farmers to work late into the night, helping them to bring in the crops from the fields. This usually falls in September. All right, that was pretty informational. I like it. All right. I think we have one more. Let me bring it up. Okay, how long would it take to walk around the moon, you ask? I have information on that. It might be quicker than we originally believed, but it's a logistical nightmare. From our vantage point on Earth, the moon looks small, but if you were to hop in a spaceship, don a spacesuit, and go on an epic lunar hike, how long would it take to walk all the way around it? The answer depends on myriad factors, including how fast you go, how much time every day you spend walking, and what detours you'll need to take to avoid dangerous topography. Such a trip around the moon could take longer than a year, but in reality, there are a lot more challenges to overcome. A total of 12 humans have stepped foot on the lunar surface, all of whom were part of the Apollo missions between 1969 and 1972. By the way, Neil Armstrong was the first person to set his feet on the moon from the United States. The footage that was beamed back to Earth showed how challenging and apparently fun it was to walk, or more accurately bounce around in the moon's low gravity, which is 1/6 the gravity of Earth. However, research from NASA has since suggested that it is possible for humans to maneuver much faster on the moon than the Apollo astronauts did. Theoretically, walking the circumference of the moon could be done faster than previously predicted. All right, during the Apollo missions, astronauts bounced around the surface at a casual 1.4 miles per hour, That's 2.2 kilometers per hour, according to NASA. This slow speed was mainly due to their clunky, pressurized spacesuits that were not designed with mobility in mind. If the moonwalkers had sported sleeker suits, they might have found it a lot easier to move and, as a result, picked up the pace. In 2014, a NASA study published in the Journal of Experimental Biology tested how fast humans could walk and run in simulated lunar gravity. To do this, the team got 8 participants, 3 of which were astronauts, to use a treadmill on board a DC-9 aircraft, which flew special parabolic trajectories on Earth to simulate gravity on the moon for up to 20 seconds at a time. This experiment revealed that the participants were able to walk up to 3.1 or 5 kilometers per hour before breaking into a run. This is not only more than double the walking speed managed by the Apollo astronauts, but also fairly close to the 4.5 mile per hour, 7.2 kilometers per hour average maximum walking speed on Earth, according to the researchers. The participants pulled off these fast speeds because they were able to freely swing their arms, similar to how humans run on Earth. This pendulum motion created a downward force, which partially compensated for a lack of gravity. One of the reasons the Apollo astronauts were so slow on the lunar surface was because they couldn't do this properly due to their clunky, heavy suits. Okay, at this new hypothetical max speed, it would take around 91 days to walk the 6,786 mile, 10,921 kilometer circumference of the moon. For context, it would take around 334 days to walk nonstop around the 40,075 kilometer circumference of Earth at this speed, although it is impossible to do so because of the oceans. Of course. Obviously, it's not possible to walk nonstop for 91 days, so the actual walk around the moon would definitely take much longer. All right, planning your route around the moon. Walking around the moon also poses a number of different challenges. I think logistically it could be done. Aidan Cowley, a science advisor at the European Space Agency, told Live Science, but it would be a very strange mission to support. One of the biggest challenges would be carrying supplies such as water, food, and oxygen. I don't think you'd be carrying them in your backpack, Cowley said, because that'd be far too much mass, even if you're at 1/6 gravity. Therefore, you would have a need to support that. Totally backwards. Therefore, you would need to have a support vehicle with you, Cowley said. This vehicle could also double as shelter. A lot of agencies are looking into the concept of having a pressurized rover which can actually support the astronauts when they're doing exploration missions, kind of like a portable mini base, Cowley said. You could use that to go in at night and resupply and then go back out during the day and walk around again. Moon adventurers would also need a spacesuit with a design that allows for optimal movement. Current spacesuits are still not created with excessive locomotion in mind, but some agencies are developing form-fitting suits that will allow for the arm swing necessary to walk properly on the moon, Cowley said. The moon's harsh topography would also make finding a suitable route around it quite tricky, especially with meteor craters that can be several miles deep. You would really want to go around the craters, Cowley said. It's just too dangerous. You would also have to factor in light and temperature when planning the route. At the equator of the moon and during the day, you're looking at temperatures around 100 degrees centigrade, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, Cowley said. And then at nighttime, it drops to minus 180 Celsius, minus 292 Fahrenheit. Wow. The lunar cycle also means there are days when there is little or no sunlight, and at least half the journey would have to be done in the dark, Providing protection against these extreme temperatures could be possible with specially designed suits and the rover for protection. But the temperatures could also change the state of regolith, a fine gray soil that covers the moon's solid bedrock, and affect how fast you walk on it, Cowley said. I've never heard of that. Regolith. Okay, this is like the ground on the moon. However, radiation could pose an even greater danger. Unlike Earth, the moon does not have a magnetic field that helps deflect radiation from reaching its surface. If there was no major solar activity at a time, then it may not be so bad, Cowley said. But if there was a solar flare or a coronal ejection and you're hit by high levels of radiation, that could make you very, very sick. This type of mission would also require a huge amount of endurance training because of the demands of exercising in low gravity on your muscles and cardiovascular system. You'd have to send an astronaut with ultra marathon level fitness to do it, Cowley said. Even then, walking at a top speed would be possible only for around 3 to 4 hours a day, Cowley said. So if a person walked at 5 kilometers an hour for 4 hours a day, then it would take an estimated 547 days, or nearly 1.5 years, to walk the moon's circumference, assuming your route isn't too disrupted by craters and you can deal with the temperature changes and radiation. However, humans won't have the technology or equipment to accomplish such a feat until at least the late 2030s or early 2040s, Cowley said. You never get an agency to support anything like this, Cowley said. But if some crazy billionaire wants to try it, maybe they can pull it off. Okay. Some interesting stuff. Wow. I don't think I'd want to try to walk all the way around the moon. I don't know about you guys, but maybe to fly by it and see it and then fly back to Earth. Walk on it, no big deal. Don't have to do it. But I would love to take the space ride and see the moon and Earth from a space point of view. That would be awesome. Definitely. Whew, okay. Maybe one short video before we go. Why not? Just one short one. Do an educational video. Okay, hold on 1 second. Why not? Why not? A little happy learning.
Good grammar and spelling are important.
Ooh, no, stop. All right. This one. A little quick video. A little education for the children. Did I mention Happy Easter? Happy Easter, people. Oh, commercials.
Hello friends! Welcome to a new video from Happy Learning. Today we are going to learn about the moon. The moon is the only satellite that rotates around our planet. And it takes 28 days
No, I
to completely go around the Earth.
I hear you.
But what a satellite is? A natural satellite is any kind of celestial body that rotates, or actually orbits around the planet. The moon is never still. It moves in two ways. It has a movement of rotation and a movement of translation. That is to say, it rotates around the Earth. The duration of the movement of rotation and translation is 28 days. Because it takes the same amount to rotate on its own axis and to completely go around the Earth, the moon always shows us the same face. When we observe the moon along a period of time, it appears to change shape. These changes in appearance are called lunar phases and they repeat every 28 days. There are 4. Full moon, first quarter, new moon, and last quarter. The moon phases are produced by 2 reasons: the movement of the moon around the Earth, and because the moon reflects light from the sun as a mirror. New moon. In this phase, the moon is passing between the Earth and the sun. The illuminated face of the moon is facing the opposite direction to Earth. The dark side ends up facing the Earth, and this is why we cannot see the moon. First quarter. You can see approximately 1 week after the new moon. One half of the illuminated side faces the Earth. It is called the first quarter because from the new moon phase, the zone illuminated by the sun grows every time. Full moon. Approximately a week after the first quarter, we can see the whole moon illuminated. The Earth is between the moon and the sun, and we can see it fully. Last quarter. The moon presents its other half phase illuminated. The name from the last quarter comes from the fact that the illuminated side becomes smaller and smaller each time. A very easy trick to know whether the moon is in its first or last quarter is the following. If the moon has the shape of a C, it is in the last quarter. And if it has the shape of a D, it is in the first quarter. So now you know, the moon has 4 phases. New moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter.
That's debatable.
Now we are going to learn a few facts about the moon. Do you know the distance between the moon and the Earth? Although it looks as if it's not very far away, the moon is about 385,000 kilometers from the Earth. Another very interesting fact is that a rocket takes 3 days to get to the moon. It's incredible, isn't it? The first astronaut that stepped on the moon was Neil Armstrong. And this very important accomplishment occurred in the year 1969 aboard the Apollo 11 rocket. The moon is 4 times smaller than the Earth, which is very important for the sustainability of life in our planet. The moon generates tides. Do you know what a tide is? A tide is the rise and fall of the sea level. They occur every 6 hours approximately. Well, now you know a little bit more about the moon. Very interesting, right? Bye friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the Happy Learning channel.
Very good, Happy Learning. Very, very good. Oh, that last music was awesome. I was ready to dance. Okay. Very cool. We didn't talk about the distance between the sun or the moon and the earth, so that was another fun fact. Okay, guys, I think that is going to do it for the 56th edition of Englishing with Jings. It's been my pleasure and my honor to discuss the moon with everybody. Listen, everybody in the West, enjoy your holiday today for Easter. Everybody else, have a great day. And don't forget to come back next Sunday for number 57. It's going to be special. Having said this, It's been a pleasure to be your host, and I'll see you next Sunday. Everybody have a great week. Bye for now.